Hey, campus students, how you doing? Welcome to One-on-One at One. I'm your student pastor Josh Akers, and glad to see you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed this. We've been going through these different things. This week we talked about fear, and yesterday we talked about having courage. And if you didn't catch these, you didn't get a chance to catch these, we broadcast them. You can always go on and watch them. But today we're talking about anxiety. And there's a lot of anxiety going on right now. There's a lot of people that are anxious. Maybe some of you watching this right now are feeling very anxious, and that's totally understandable. There's a lot of things going on. The social distancing and the quarantine and the uncertainty about how long all this is going to last, and people have anxiety about whether or not they're going to have a job, and there's a lot of families that are impacted. The stress and everything causes anxiety. I've struggled with some anxiety in the past, and it can be kind of suffocating. I talked about on Monday about some fears that I've had, that just seem kind of crazy, and sometimes that leads to anxiety, and sometimes there's just anxiousness around certain things. I know after my wife got into a really bad motorcycle accident a few years ago, there was a lot of anxiety for me when I would go through that intersection where that accident happened. I would feel just like I couldn't breathe, and the walls were closing in, and just my heart felt like it was just pounding out of my chest. And I had to talk myself down and just pray, and it took a while before that anxiety kind of went away. And I talked to a counselor about it, and I think counseling is an awesome thing to do. Again, pray. I had Bible verses that I memorized, that I would quote to myself. I would talk through those things and pray those verses when I was getting close to that intersection. There's sometimes that anxiety happens that we may not. It's not like something that we can see coming, you're getting to that point, but there's things that come up that can cause things that we can't see happening. In the book of Matthew, Jesus talked about coming to him, and in chapter 11, verse 28, he says, come to me and bring your burdens. I'm paraphrasing it. It says, bring your burdens to me, and I'll give you rest. And I think that, one of those things is definitely anxiety. Anxiety is a burden. But you can come to Jesus with your anxiety, and he'll give you rest. I think this is what Peter, I wonder if he probably remembered this when he wrote the book of Peter, 1 Peter, in chapter 5, verse 7. We're going to start with verse 6. He says this, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time he may exalt you, casting all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you." Casting all of your anxieties on him, because he cares for you. And I can imagine, it's this idea, just like Jesus said, hey, come to me and bring your burdens. Peter's saying, hey, you can come to Jesus. Be humble, and just don't try to do it all on your own. Don't try to white knuckle your way through it. Or don't isolate yourself and try to deal with it. Just be humble and just say, hey, I need help. I need help with this, God. Or you can come talk to me, or small group leaders. You can talk to your friends. You can talk to your family. But just come to them hey, I need some help with this. Definitely, you can talk to counselors about this too. It's a great thing to do. But God does care. He cares for us. And he wants us to be free from that anxiety. He wants to be free from the burdens. And some of us, there are some people that are coming and saying, hey, I need help. And we can step forward and say, hey, I can help you with that. Some people may have anxiety about not being able to have enough food. We talked a little bit this week about, there's some homeless students in the Keller ISD area. There's an assisted living community in Hazlet, and they have a need, and that can cause anxiety. And what we can do is we can help them. God can use us to help lift that burden for people. So if you want to donate, you can bring food to the Roanoke campus Sunday between 1 and 4. But those are ways that God uses us to be able to lift anxiety and lift a burden from someone. So if you have anxiety, if you are anxious about things, we're going to look tomorrow at peace and what the Apostle Paul says about anxiety and about how you can live in peace. And not just same thing we said about fear and courage, not just about living free of anxiety, but being surrounded in peace that God gives. I love you guys. I would ask you, as you're engaging and as you guys are typing questions and stuff like that in the chat, like, feel free to, if you feel comfortable posting some of the things that you have that may have anxiety about, or if you just like, hey, I need prayer for my anxiety, like post that on there right now, and we want to pray with you. We want to come alongside you with that. But I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. Make sure you're staying healthy, doing the social distancing / isolation thing, but don't be isolated from people. Like, reach out over the phone, text message, find someone that you can encourage today. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow as we talk about peace.